We are going through exercise 20b, and in this video I'll be answering question 4a, which says consider the graphs of y equals x to the half and y is equal to x to the third for x is greater than 0. And for a, what we need to do is find our x values for x to the half is less than x to the third. What we're going to begin by doing is simply writing out what we've been given. So we have this is less than this. Now, immediately, I dislike dealing with rational indices in this form. So the fact that I have powers that are fractions, I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise both sides to the power of 6, just like this. And what that's going to mean is I'm going to get 6 times 2. So if I was to do this really step by step here, what I've now turned this into is 6 over 2. And on this side, I have 6 over 3. And then I would go, well, 6 over 2, that's just 3. And 6 over 3, that's just 2. Perfect. The next thing I would do, and I might bring my working up here now, just to keep everything on the same side. How nice is that arrow there? So now what we have is we have x cubed, and I'm just going to bring this over to the other side, just like this, which means I'm now going to have that. So all I did there is I subtracted x to the 2, x powered 2, x squared from both sides. So now it looks like this. I now am going to take out my common factor of x squared. So I'm going to be left with x minus 1, like that. All right, so let's now consider both of these individually. So we have this, and well, we have this, x squared is less than 0. Well, immediately we know that doesn't make any sense because x squared is always going to be greater than 0. And we know that to be true because even if I were to square a negative number, it's going to be positive. So we can immediately disregard this. That means what we will be considering is this section of it, just here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say x minus 1 is less than 0. And therefore I can say x is less than 1 just by moving it across. So now, based on that, I can now write what my final answer is going to be. These arrows are turning out spectacular, wouldn't you agree? Look at these arrows, they're beautiful. So what my final answer is going to be, since I know that my x, let me come over here, since I know my x has to be greater than 0, and my x has to be less than 1, what my final answer will be, and I'll write it in this form right here, like this, dot, dot, it's going to be 0 is less than x is less than 1, just like that. So what I'm saying is that my x exists between 0 and 1. So what I've done is I have figured this out. And now, just to really prove this to you, if we were to look at Desmos for a moment, and remember, we're trying to find where this here, so my red line, is less than my blue line. Well, as you can see, it's between 1 and 0. So between 0 and 1, my blue line is greater than my red line. And this is the working that proves it. So hopefully this made sense. And in the second video, I'll go through part B, which is a little bit more tricky. I'll see you then.